listening to the VMX Show, Season 5.
Greetings everyone. This is bound to be, let me close the door. Here, we're getting a lot of noise. This is bound to be an interesting episode of the VMX Show. This is Season 5, Episode 10. But you already knew that from the description, so, you know. We got your questions and comments. We have a guest, a guy named Casey came by. I should say a kid named Casey. 13 years old. He's doing a YouTube channel of Let's Plays. He came by to talk about. He has a very, very long string of Let's Plays scheduled, so to speak. I think he's 13 now. I think by the time he gets to some of the later games in his schedule, he's probably going to be 25. But he wanted my opinion on those, and he wanted to list them off, and, whatever. I'm cool with that. So he came by. We'll have that as a guest spot later on in the show. Of course, we have the news, so it's going to be an interesting show. But let's get right into it. Your questions and comments. I fuck like an animal, and that's not a declaration of my own prowess. That's somebody's YouTube username who sent me a message saying, "What is your favorite Scorpions album?" Even though the cover is fucked up, I think Virgin Killer is an awesome album. It's interesting to think about Virgin Killer. They had the little girl naked on the cover, very bizarre. I think even the band has said, yeah, that was a mistake. We were trying to go for one thing, and it obviously got misconstrued as another. I don't know where I Fuck From an Animal is like. Might be somewhere in Europe. In America, actually, we didn't have that as the cover Virgin Killer. They just had a generic stock photo of the band there. So, as for, I have all the Scorpions albums, and it's really tough to pick one album that I think is the best. Probably Blackout is probably my favorite of their classic albums, and for the newer albums, I would definitely pick Humanity Hour 1, which was their second to last album. So, hope that answers your question. I know it's two answers, but they've been around since 1965, so it's hard to pick just one, so to speak there. All right, I got a lot of other comments here, but I'm scrolling here. Okay, so Skada Legend 14 removed their comment. Why do people do that? Oh, it looks like they reposted. So I will take care of that. Let me just remove that. Okay, CoolVids19 said, "Do you like fried chicken and milk?" Now, see, I'm unsure how to react to this, because I don't know if you're asking me if I like fried chicken and I like milk. Yes, I do like fried chicken. Who doesn't? And I do like milk. But if you're asking me if I like them together, I've never thought of having them together. I've never had fried chicken and milk together. I don't think I would want to do that. I don't think they would go together well. So, yeah, that's just weird. I don't know. Razarath92 said, "El hombre de aracno." It's my Spanglish from last episode. Fucking awesome, dude. Left me crying in laughter. I'm glad. It's a funny story. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Cobra DVS says, "Great show, Necro. Thanks for answering my question. You mentioned Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, and it sounded like you enjoyed them. Good to hear. My question is, what do you think of Mario Sunshine? For me, it's sort of a love-hate kind of thing. It's a good game. It can be very tedious at times. What are your thoughts?" I really liked it. I thought it was better than Super Mario 64, which I did think was overrated. I thought Galaxy, though, was the first 3D Super Mario game to really get it right, like the feel of it and how it should be. But I did like Sunshine. It was definitely tougher than most Mario games, which I did enjoy. But, I don't know. I don't really get the Sunshine hate, so there we go. Okay, here's Skada Legends post. Skada Legend 14 says, "Blazing Saddles was hilarious. That uppity nigger hit me over the head with a shovel. My question, what is something somebody has done to you in public that really pissed you off?" Now, I gave your question some thought, and I really couldn't come up with anything because it's kind of hard to piss me off. I'm very slow to anger, which most people on YouTube don't realize because, they think I blow up at anything for some reason, but I'm actually very slow to anger, and I can't think of somebody pissing me off in public, off the top of my head. I could think of people trying to piss me off in public, but it didn't work, It didn't work. So I'm just going to move on. I'm sorry I don't have an answer for you, but I can't remember any situation where I was in public and I got really, really pissed off. Mote or maybe it's Mote SOS1, says, thanks for answering my question, Necro. I don't remember answering a question from you. I seriously don't. This is I don't ever remember seeing Mote SOS or Mote SOS1. Did they ever leave? I'm actually searching for. They did leave me a question. Oh, they asked me about Final Fantasy. Interesting. I don't remember the username. Well, they said, thanks for answering my question, Necro. I have two questions. What is your opinion on the future of turn-based role-playing games and home consoles? Are we going to see some great games or just more FPS? Well, that's interesting because first-person shooters can be great games. It's not like they're all crappy. Of course we're going to see more great RPGs. There are more RPGs on the way. RPGs are becoming bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. As a matter of fact, look on the Wii for Xenoblade Chronicles coming out in April and The Last Story coming out in June. Those are not exactly turn-based, but there are role-playing games. So role-playing games are becoming bigger and bigger. Okay, the second question is Nord mythology or Greek mythology? Thank you, I really like your show. Sorry if my spelling is wrong, but I don't speak English very good. I don't know, you seem to speak English a lot better than most people who were, born in America or England. So I can't. I'm looking at your channel. It doesn't say what country you're from, but I don't know. You seem to speak English just fine. As for Greek mythology or Nord, I think you said Nord mythology. I think you mean Norse. Nord is like from Skyrim. They both have their. I'm more familiar with the Greek mythology than the Norse mythology, but they're both really cool. So I couldn't really pick one over the other. I think the Norse mythology is probably more interesting, but I just don't know as much about it. Hans Fartknocker says, what is your favorite game for Super NES, and do you like the Ramones? Super Metroid and no. Moving along. Savage Broadcast says, great job as always, man. I have two questions. One, if you don't mind, I'd like to extend one of my previous questions and ask, what is the strangest things you've experienced while in a store? Let's see. I don't know what the strangest thing was, but one story just popped into my head immediately. And it's not so much it's not like it's extremely, extremely weird, but it is a little weird and it's funny. So I'll bring it up. I was with my friend Brandon, and we were going to the mall, and the mall, it's a huge mall that has a lot of different entrances, and the closest entrance to the mall to where we parked was JCPenney. You had to walk through the JCPenney to get to the mall. Now, the JCPenney was one of our first. I think it was our first time walking through the JCPenney to get to the mall, and it had a kind of a confusing layout. And we were like getting lost in the JCPenney, looking for, the upstairs and downstairs, looking for, how to get out of the store and into the actual mall. And I swear I went around in circles and passed the same guy 3 times, but he looked fatter each time. I don't know, like it was maybe 3 generations of the same guy. And then I was getting frustrated, and I said to my friend, we need to get the hell out of this store, because we were wandering around for like 5 minutes trying to find how to get out, So it was just a very confusing layout. We became old pros at it eventually, but this is one of the first times I think we went through there. Anyway, some older lady overheard me saying that, and she just decided to pipe up. She was like, why, what's wrong with this store? I like this store. And I'm just like, oh, the store's great, the store is wonderful, but there's a fucking rabid dog chasing us. Like, what are you talking to me for? So I was just, I don't know if you think that's really weird. I thought it was weird at the time. Moving along, Dark Hill Pick 28 says, which comedian do you prefer personally, George Carlin or Richard Pryor? Definitely Richard Pryor. George Carlin was funny in the 70s, and then he became old and unfunny. He became old and crotchety, and all he did was bitch, and just his whole act just became a whole liberal rhetoric and just bitching about the man, and it was just really not funny at all. I like the old George Carlin when he came up with shit like, how come you park in a driveway and drive in a parkway, and 7 dirty words and all that shit. But Richard Pryor was funny from the moment he entered the comedy scene to the moment he left the comedy scene. He was even funny in Superman 3, and that movie sucked. I'm a big Richard Pryor fan, so definitely Richard Pryor. Moving on to your other question. Oh, you don't have another question. You're just saying, for me, I choose Carlin, but Pryor is great too. Nah, Pryor trumps all. Greatest stand-up comedian of all time. Moving on, Benny Gesserit says, oh, he's actually going to tell me how to pronounce his name. Thanks for answering my question. You almost got my name right. It's actually pronounced Benny Gesserit. Oh, so it's close right there. I don't know how I said it last week, but whatever. Single Player Com says, hey, Necro, the Belly Button Lint and Soup comment were a reference to Potter Puppet Pals, which I don't watch and I don't care about. Why would you make a reference to that? Also, I'm very frustrated that I cannot find any torrent files for Chronicles. What, Chronicles of a Dark Lord? Is that what you're talking about? Okay, I hope you're not talking about Chronicles of a Dark Lord, because you're basically saying, hey, I know you're making this game, I'm trying to steal it. Like, dick. Moving along. It's only $5, Jesus Christ. You might be talking about something else, but I think you're talking about Chronicles of a Dark Lord, and I really hope you're not, because it's like, hey, I'm trying to steal your game. Real Nasuko says, it's funny. He had said, I keep mentioning this, but this guy, I have no idea how to say this guy's name. He corrected me once. He sent me a message on Xbox Live, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I forgot how to pronounce it. He sent me another message on Xbox Live, said, don't worry about it. Say it whatever way you want. So there we go. Great show as always, Necro. I thought Pokemon Nobunga's Ambition was supposed to be the next Pokemon game to be released, though I guess that's technically not a real Pokemon game. I've never even heard of that. I can't imagine that Pokemon would cross over with Nobunga's Ambition? Really? I'm looking into this, and apparently it's real. I'm shocked by this, that they're really doing a crossover between Nobunga's Ambition and Pokemon. I doubt that's coming to America. All right, moving along. He says, oh, that's it. Yeah. Spikester55 says, okay, Necro, quick question. In your opinion, what do you think is the best video game ending? Or at least the ending that had a powerful impact over you? Well, there's a lot of video game endings that I really, really enjoyed. But I have to say that Dragon Quest VIII, one of my favorite games of all time, also had my favorite ending of all time. So there you go. MiniBro11 says, MiniBro. I'm just imagining this like little midget, and he's going, hey, we're going to Troy's house, he's having a sick kegger. MiniBro11 says, hey, Necro, I think it's a great idea that you want to have people on the show, but it seems like a lot of the questions are directed toward... Well, we don't have guests for the question segment. We have guests after the question segment. The guest segment separate from the question segment. I feel as though your audience doesn't see a reason to appear as a guest on the show, so you can get everyone a few reasons why you'd like us to come on the show. And well, most people want to come on the show, they just don't want to commit to actually doing it. So I'm going to move on here. L the Originals. I don't think you're the original letter L, okay? Just saying. No, I'm messing with you. I guess that's a fair point. What is a fair point? You keep referencing something. All right. Home consoles have come a long way, so there probably isn't a point in wasting funds and trying to resurrect a dead market. Oh, he's probably talking about the arcade thing. Just curious on how you felt about that. Red Devil Dazzy 2007 says, good episode, Necro. Look forward to this next one. Well, I hope you're enjoying it. Number 1, he has 3 questions. What is the most annoying loading screen you've encountered in a game? I personally find Sonic 06 loading screen annoying. It takes ages. I've never really been annoyed by a loading screen, so I don't know. I can't really answer that. Number 2, have you ever won the lottery? Yeah, if I won the lottery, do you think I'd be fucking on YouTube talking to you people? No, I probably would be. That's what's crazy about it. No, I've never won the lottery. I never played the lottery. Number 3, you are... Okay, I actually want to talk about this. Lottery is like the dumbest fucking thing ever. And I understand, it pays for schools, it pays for this, whatever. You are more likely to be struck by lightning twice than to win the lottery. Just putting that... If you take the money that you spend on lottery tickets... I don't mean you in particular. I mean anybody who plays this ridiculous thing. The money that you spend on lottery tickets every week and put it in a jar. In 10 years, you're going to have a lot of money. Then give it to yourself. Boom, I won the lottery. Okay, number 3. Have you ever met any famous people such as movie stars, etc.? I don't know how famous how famous you would say. I don't know any movie stars. I do know a lot of musicians. I'm friends with Arian Lucasen. I'm friends with Kip Winger. I'm friends with Charlie Dominici. He's kind of a weird guy. But I know a lot of musicians and some artists and stuff and whatnot and writers, but I wouldn't say that I'm friends with any movie stars. I've never met any movie stars. Mr. Bang Bitch. I love how YouTube just allows any name. He says, great episode, Necro. Laughed my ass off. What do you have to say to said YouTube stars that have multiple accounts, ones with vlogs and other shit, then from nowhere they make a gaming account and they're like, visit this to win something, or like this video, basically just abusing the system? Well, I don't know how that's abusing the system. I don't understand having multiple channels. Personally, I subscribe to a guy named D Sigs. He's a really cool guy who does great comedy videos. But he has his main channel, D Sigs, and then he has another channel called D Sigs Comedy. And I basically find the content on both channels to be the same, I don't understand why I don't just have it on one channel. But that's me. People have suggested to me, why don't you make multiple channels? And I'm like, yeah, why don't I just cut my balls off? I mean, seriously, I don't understand the point in that. He also left another comment. By the way, Necro, I'm Spikester55, but YouTube fucked up and won't sign me in, so I used my old account. Your old account was Mr. Bang Bitch? Wow. Corn Mo, or maybe it's Corn M0, who knows, says, what is your favorite Blind Guardian album? Ooh, that's a good one. I have two favorites. The one that I listen to the most is Nightfall in Middle-earth, because it's the most listenable of them all. But I probably would say that A Night in the Opera is actually the better album. It's more complex anyway. Josie, I also like the new one, by the way. Josie Gregg says, The Walking Dead TV show is a little different from the comics. Of course it is. Characters that are dead in the comics are blah, blah, blah. Right, moving on. WWE Nintendo's Fan01 says, good episode now. Random questions. Number 1, what is your favorite fruit? Plantains. I love plantains. You gotta fry them up, though. I also, tomatoes. Tomatoes go with everything. So there you go. I'm not like an apple orange kind of guy. I like the savory stuff. McDonald's or Burger King? McDonald's. Burger King sucks. I hate Burger King. I've been to Burger King. Their food tastes like shit. And number 3, am I gay? If you want, you don't need to answer. Okay. How can I answer that? I don't know if you're gay. If you don't know if you're gay, okay, if you don't know whether you're gay or not, who does? That's something that you would know. Why would you ask, honestly, a perfect stranger whether or not you think you're gay or not? Or I don't know if you're gay. Do you like girls? You're a dude, right? If you like girls, you're straight. If you like guys, you're gay. Why would you ask me? That's bizarre. I don't know if it's a joke or not, but moving on. Almost done here. Dave Corn fans. I'm trying to blast through this because I have a guest. Dave Corn fans says, great episode as always, Necro. Recently I got a PSP because it's cheap. You spelled that wrong. Since I'm sorry, but it just bothers me. Since the Vita came out, I've been very curious about the PSP because you have always praised it. The other day, I got a copy of Tactics Ogre Let Us Cling Together simply because of your Clearing Confusion episode about the series, so thank you for steering me towards that. Well, hope you enjoy it. Since I'm a PSP noob, I was wondering if you could recommend any other great titles for the system. Well, I've always said this is the system to have for old school RPG, so there you have The Legend of Heroes, which is 3 games. Definitely. Actually, The Legend of Heroes 2 is like the first one, but it's really the 5th one. There's a clearing confusion about that, too. But it doesn't matter what order you play them in. They're all 3 are great games. All the East games are great. East 7 is the most recent one. That's the one that was actually made for PSP. And that's really awesome. But you can get East 1 and 2, which is called East Chronicles on the PSP. You can get East 3, which is called East the Oath and Felghana. And you can get East 6, which is called East the Ark of Nepistum. So I would also, the Mega Man games are really cool. There's Mega Man Powered Up. There's Mega Man Maverick Hunter X. There's a great version of Street Fighter Alpha 3 if you're into fighting games. The God of War games are pretty cool. There's one on the PSP that's pretty cool. Gotta get Castlevania, Dracula X Chronicles. That's a must. That's enough for me to tell you for now. Splashfire0x says, hey, Necro, since there weren't any news on what I wanted to say, I'm just going to say it. Did you know that GameStop is going to stop selling GameCube games on April 2nd? If you did, what do you think about that? Well, I don't know that there was any particular date attached to it because the GameStops that I go to has not had GameCube games for quite a while now, so there you have it. GamePlayer596 says, my favorite thing a musician has said goes to Justin Chancellor, the bassist of Tool. No accounting for taste, I guess. During their acceptance speech of a Grammy for Schism, he goes, I want to thank my dad for doing my mom. Okay, that is funny. That is funny. I thought it was funny because it was something nobody has done before, at least to my knowledge. That's all Tool is, something different. Well, on the subject, what are your thoughts on the band? More so the earlier work pre-2005. I hate Tool. They suck. No, I'm being dramatic. I think Tool is really overrated. I think that they're a very important band because they, I think, unintentionally invented the entire genre of post-metal, which I'm very fond of. But when I think of good post-metal, I think of bands like Red Sparrows or Pelican. Pelican is one of my favorites. Callisto and bands like that. I find Tool to just be boring, to be honest. I don't hate them. I'm just, being dramatic, like I said. But I think they're boring. Their music is not exciting at all. And finally, Max Spender says, I know you're not a big fan of sandbox games, but I was wondering is that more because the setting of a lot of the games take... Well, I'm falling asleep here. Example, you like Simpsons Hit and Run, you like the Elder Scrolls series, which you might argue are RPGs, but they're still open world games. So, yeah, they're RPGs with an open world. Okay? But that's a difference between creating something that is just a sandbox game, where that's just like, okay, we're just going to stick in a sandbox. Like Grand Theft Auto and all that shit, I don't care. So what if a company like Rockstar released a sandbox game and set it in a D&D style fantasy world? It would still be made by Rockstar, and I don't like their games. There you go. I've never liked the Rockstar game. I mean, unless they did Simpsons Hit and Run, which I guess is possible. But honestly, the gameplay wasn't that good. I mainly liked it because it was funny. It had great writing in it, and that's what kept me going. I'm actually looking up who developed that right now. No, see, that was Radical Entertainment. Okay, so that wasn't even Rockstar. So there you go. Okay, so that's the questions and comments. We're going to get Casey in here. Casey's 13 years old. He does LPs. He wanted to tell me about his upcoming LPs. He wanted to tell you about his upcoming LPs. He's got a lot coming, so let's get him in here. I have a child on the show. Again, this is Casey. Hi, Casey.
What's up?
You were 13 years old, you just told me.
Yes, I am.
And I'm old as shit. So, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what brings you here?
Okay. Well, like what brings me on the show, or like what brings me on YouTube?
Why not both?
Okay. Well, I was brought on YouTube for two reasons. The main one is because of Mr. NecroVMX here.
Bloody hell.
I've been watching his videos since I was like 10, was it? And yeah, I think
Jesus Christ.
I know. Since I was like 10 years old, and I was like...
I never imagined 10-year-olds would be watching my videos where I'm saying everything bad there is to say.
Well, like, the first thing I had seen you go through was Doom 2, and I was like, hey, that looks pretty cool, why don't I try that for myself? And, yeah, and I made this account.
And you're currently doing an LP of Doom 2. I see you're up to 11 videos on that.
Yeah, actually, I think I've uploaded map 12 already, but I've got to edit it first.
Oh, I don't see it on your channel. That's why I
Yeah.
mentioned that. So, how are you... Is this your first time playing it, or have you played it before and now you're recording it?
I've played it before and I'm recording it. I've played it a bunch of times.
Okay, alright. So, I just want to know, because it's always really interesting to see someone online playing something for the first time.
Yeah.
And what brings you on the show today?
What brings me on the show today is I sort of inherited a feature from you. That is,
Okay.
like, he has, like... I'm sure you already know this, but he has, like, a page of, like, requests upon requests. So
Yeah.
I did something like that, except I put on a bunch of games I'm going to do. The gimmick with that is that I put them all in, like, in order of their release date, and I'm going to go through them all in that order. Because I'm, like, a retro gamer, so...
So is this a series of games, or is it just random games that you picked?
It's just random games that I picked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I start with the older ones because when I get done with the older ones and I start to go into the newer ones, by then it'll be like 2025 or something, and those will be considered retro.
Hey, you never know. Oh, you have that many games listed?
Yeah, I got like 2 long pages and like 1 like tiny little short page.
Okay, and these are you going to do the whole thing? You're going to play through every single game, or are you just doing videos on each one?
I'm going to go through every game.
Bloody hell. Alright, well, let's hear them, because I know you wanted my thoughts on these.
Yep. Alright, first, I've already taken this one off the list because I've already done it, but it was Ultimate Doom.
Okay, yeah.
That's a good one. Let's just say, when I started out with it, I was using the keyboard, and I wasn't very good with it because it was my first time playing it on a computer, as opposed to like my Xbox.
Well, that's how I play it.
Yeah, but I'm used to my Xbox.
I know, but controllers are not meant for first-person shooters. I'm sorry. I know that a lot of the younger generation, they grew up playing Halo and they're used to the Xbox controller.
I hate it.
It's fine. I mean, it's fine to play a first-person shooter with a controller if you have no other option. But if you have the option of using a keyboard and mouse, that's so superior.
I hate Halo.
Well, I hate it too.
Yeah, glad we agree with that. All right.
Yeah, I detest Halo, actually.
The game I'm going through right now is Doom 2.
Yes.
I'm up to map 12, but I gotta edit that one. All right, so the game
So it's
the game after that is a Doom Wad Apocalypse.
Apocalypse.
Yeah.
I see it on your channel. You have the next 3 listed.
Yeah.
Well, I'll do Apocalypse, Final, and then both versions of Final Doom.
Yep.
Which all I gotta say is about the plutonium experiment is good luck on that one.
Yeah, I've seen it before. It is not easy.
It's not that it's really really hard. It's just that it's designed to fuck you over, and it will.
Yeah, I know. After those two actually is the first Crash Bandicoot.
Ugh. Why must you torture yourself?
Well, I mean, like I'm watching like a YouTube user named Tyrant King 10 go through that game.
Yeah.
And go through other games, and it seemed like a pretty cool series, so I tried it out for myself, and let's just say it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, but I could think of better things to do an LP of. Crash Bandicoot just pisses me off.
Yeah. After that is, oh god, you're gonna love this one.
And these are what you consider to be retro games?
Well, retro to me.
I'm old as shit.
You're gonna love the next game on the list. The first Tomb Raider.
Ah, why?
It was the first game I played, so,
That doesn't mean it's good.
well, that's true.
I get that a lot, like, hey, I like this game. It was the first one I played, and I'm like, so?
Well, I mean, it's not because it's the first game I played that it's considered to me like good. Now some of the features it has, it kind of skip some cards. It kind of scares me a little bit, but that's not what I want.
Have you played Uncharted at all?
I've heard of it. I used to have it for my PS3, but I sold it.
You had it and you didn't play it?
Well, it was my brother's, and he sold it.
Oh, okay. Because that's sort of the same thing as Tomb Raider, only it's done right.
Yeah. After this is Final Fantasy VII.
But that's a decent game.
Yeah, nothing really wrong with that.
That'll take you a long time, of course.
Yeah, I haven't beaten the game. I've only made it to the 3rd disc, and then I got stuck, and then I stopped playing it.
Well, the 3rd disc is pretty much the end. I can't imagine where you'd get stuck there, because by that point you should be pretty much God mode,
Wait, was it the 2nd disc or the 3rd disc? I can't remember. It was
only 3 discs.
Yeah, it was. There was this huge boss that could pick up your characters and that would KO them. I forgot what it was called, but
Ultimate Weapon?
I don't think it was Ultimate Weapon. I think it was Coded Arm or something. I forgot what it was called.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that I couldn't get past that. This game should seem kind of familiar to you. After that is Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Very familiar to me.
Yeah.
I must have played through that probably around 30 times.
Yeah. After that is Doom 64 TC, which is the PC.
Excellent choice. Yeah. Excellent choice. The Absolution is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That was... I mean, I played the shit out of the original Doom 64, and you can imagine my thoughts on playing with a controller, and then it's a Nintendo 64 controller.
Yeah.
Which is a nightmare, but I got through it okay. It's actually my favorite FPS, but then getting it on PC was like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah. After that, you're gonna love this next one. Crash Bandicoot 2!
When you say you're gonna love this next one, I'm not sure which way to go with that.
Yeah, that's why I do that.
Yeah, Crash Bandicoot. Moving along.
Okay. And speaking of moving along, Tomb Raider 2 is the next one.
God.
Yeah, I know. I grew up with these games, and I want to, I'm generally kind of good at them, so I want to, show everyone how good I am.
Oh, yeah.
After that, I haven't played this next game in a while, but I've played it before. It's Quake 2.
Quake 2. Now, why do you start with Quake 2?
Because I don't have Quake 1.
Well, it's easy enough to get.
Yeah. After that is A Bug's Life,
The PlayStation one, or
the PlayStation one.
never played it, so I might have that on my request list.
I haven't played it in years.
I'm gonna check that.
Okay.
Let's see if I have that on my. No, not Kaif. Life. Kaif's not even a word.
Although it would be cool if it was.
No, I don't have that on my list. Somebody will probably request it now.
Yeah, later on down the line.
Yeah.
And then after that, let me scroll down. After that, Crash Bandicoot 3.
Of course.
And after that, well, what do you know? Tomb Raider 3.
Gee, I didn't see that coming at all.
After that is the first, yeah. After that's the first Siphon Filter.
That's a series I haven't heard anything from in a very long time.
Yeah, it's very good. And after that, speak of the devil, I'm playing that right now. After that, it is Final Fantasy VIII.
Ugh.
I already heard your reasons of why you don't like the game, but, you could explain it here.
It makes me want to vomit and rage. I've already explained it on the show, so I'm not going to go through that whole spiel again.
Must have not heard it.
But 8 is a nightmare. It's the only numbered Final Fantasy that I can honestly say that I can't stand.
After that, after that is Army Men 3D.
Why?
Because I suck at it, and I want to show people how much I suck at it.
Oh, okay. Well, if that's fair. First you show off how good you are at a game, then you show off how much you suck at a game.
Yeah.
It is like my channel.
It's the circle of life.
It is. It's exactly like my channel.
After this, Crash Team Racing.
Okay, does that have a story mode, or?
If you consider, like, a series of races a story mode, yeah.
Well, I mean, like, I thought that was just like a kart racer. I didn't realize that it was something that you could actually do a playthrough of.
Well, there's, like, different places to race at. Like, it gets harder and harder and harder, so...
Yeah, I know, but I mean, is there some sort of long-term reward, or are you just unlocking things?
Well, it can be, like, both, depending on, like...
Okay.
Yeah. After this is Pokemon Yellow.
Why the yellow one?
Because it's unique out of red and blue.
Okay.
Yeah. After that, Tomb Raider: The Last Revelation.
That's where it really started to suck.
Yeah, I haven't...
Even the people who like the series say that one's terrible.
Yeah, I gotta kind of agree with them. Because I haven't... It's... Let me think here. Yeah, it's... Out of the five... Not three. Out of the 5 PlayStation ones, it's one of the 2 I haven't beaten.
I guess the other one would be Chronicles.
Yeah, I have not beaten that one. I've only made it to level 2, and then I got bored of it.
Surprise, surprise.
Alright, next up is another Doom...
Somebody getting bored with Tomb Raider? No!
Well, I stopped playing it because it was confusing.
Well,
Like, really confusing.
it's supposed to be confusing.
I wasn't expect it to be... Why did my list just go all the way back to the top? I gotta find where I was.
You moved your cursor.
No, it moved it by itself. My mouse was, like, not...
No, I mean the other cursor, the typing one.
Ah, okay.
You probably pressed something on the keyboard and jumped up to where you were typing last.
Which is weird, because I wasn't typing at all. Anyway.
Well, it doesn't mean the cursor's not there.
Okay. The next game on the list is another Doom mod called The Adventures of Mass Mouth.
I don't think I've played that one.
Well, you play as a little alien, and you're going up against, Bill Gates' army of people. I think. I don't remember.
It sounds really stupid.
It is.
Okay.
After that is Siphon Filter 2.
Alright, fair enough.
Which is it's the one I started with, and I've been playing it since I was, like, 4.
I'm imagining a 4-year-old playing Siphon Filter, and it's very funny to me.
Hey,
It's sort of like a very old Penny Arcade skit where it's like, "Mommy, mommy, mommy, I made punk bitches suck it down."
I was pretty good at it, and I could beat it. My brother couldn't, and at the time,
A lot of little kids claim they're good at games because they get through these modern games really easy, and I'm like, yeah, call me when you beat the original Mega Man.
See, the difference between me and these modern kids, I'm actually good at the games.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but you're playing newer games.
Exactly.
A lot of these newer games are easier.
Yeah.
See, there's a reason we have something called Nintendo Hard.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like when people brag about it, I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Tell me when you beat Silver Surfer. I can't even get through a single level in that piece of shit.
I've heard it sucks.
Oh, it's terrible.
Okay.
It's terrible.
After that is Crash Bash.
That's like the Mario Party one, right?
Yeah. I've heard. Next, I want to be the guy. It's very unforgiving.
Well, I did a playthrough. I didn't play through the whole thing. I did a Let's Fail where I did a certain amount of videos to get as far as I could.
Yeah.
And I was told I was really good at it, but it is unbelievably hard because it's designed to be unbelievably hard. But I guarantee you will have a lot of fun playing it, even if you don't make it all the way through. It's a very fun game.
Here's how you know I've tortured myself. I've beaten I Want to Be the Guy.
And how long did that take you?
I think it took me like a total of, was it 4 hours or 12 hours? I don't know, but I died like 1,000 times.
Wow, yeah.
You can expect that.
Yeah, I mean, you're supposed to die like 1,000 times, so. Yeah.
Let me see.
I had no resolve after I did the feature. I was like, I'm never going to play this again.
Yeah. I remember when I fought the final boss of I Want to Be the Guy, I started fighting. Oh, I did pretty good.
I've seen it on YouTube. I've seen people beat it, so.
Like.
I know what it looks like.
Yeah. Well, I started fighting him like around 7 o'clock, and then when my brother came over around midnight, I was still fighting him. And my hand hurt a lot.
I could imagine.
Yeah. After, I don't even know how we got on to the subject of I Want to Be the Guy.
You had it on your list.
No, it was Crash Bash, and I said it was like unforgiving, and then I brought up, yeah.
Oh, I thought that the next thing on your list was I Want to Be the Guy.
No, I think I have that later on.
All right.
That's gonna be hell. Okay. After that is another Doom mod called 10 Sector.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that one either.
It's a 10 sector. It's just like 10 sectors or less, and it's.
Oh, okay. So kind of like Claustrophobia 64 or something.
Yeah. My red stopped working for a second. Okay, the next game is probably the last one I'll put. Last one of the series I'll put on the list. It's Tomb Raider Chronicles.
Oh, you love torturing yourself.
Yeah, I know. After that is Pokemon Crystal.
Okay.
Yeah, unique out of gold and silver.
Yeah.
Okay. After that is scroll down. Siphon Filter 3.
Of course.
Yeah. And oh god, this is the worst out of any one I've ever put on my list so far.
And that's saying something.
Yeah. It's Halo.
You hate Halo, and yet you're going to play through it.
Well,
That's interesting.
I should have probably specified a little bit more. Halo 1 was good, Halo 2 was very good, Halo 3 sucked. It's because of, like, the story.
I've only played the first two, and I can tell you the first Halo is one of the worst first-person shooters I've ever played.
How? Well,
2 just bored me. I don't know.
they did add more features in 2, which is what made it better, but...
It didn't excite me at all. I didn't feel it.
Like, the reason I liked the first 2 but hate the third one is because, like, the story between 1 and 2 was good, and then you get Halo 3, and it's like, wait, what's going on here?
Well, it's a first-person shooter. You don't need a really big story. I mean,
Yeah,
you just need to shoot anything that moves.
basically. The next one is... It just started loading. Okay, the next one... Probably second worst to Halo. I'm going through the original Harry Potter on PlayStation.
Okay.
It's hard to beat, but
Well, I don't know. I've never played it. I definitely do have that on my request list because somebody just requested it yesterday.
Okay. The next one is another Doom mod called Brotherhood of Ruin.
Oh, that's a really good one.
I remember testing it out, but I haven't played it, so I'd have to...
It's good. It's good. It's only a couple of levels, but they're very long levels. It actually sets up boss battles against Archviles, which is really cool.
Ah.
I had a lot of fun with Brotherhood of Ruin.
Sounds like I'm in for fun. And, not like... What's it called? I gotta look back.
I don't know.
Halo. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Okay. The next one, I've heard you rant about this particular series quite a bit, and
Uh-oh.
there's a lot, but it's a Dragon Ball Z game.
Oh yeah, we could just skip over the Dragon Ball Z games.
Okay, all right.
I might fall asleep, you know.
Well, I'm only going through three, so like three of them. So
That's three too many.
exactly. The next one is Kingdom Hearts.
You know, I've never actually played that. I've heard good things, I've heard bad things. I
Well-
assume you've played it.
Yeah, I've beaten the first one. It's actually pretty good.
Okay.
You know, I got like Final Fantasy characters, all that stuff.
Yeah, of course. I know what it's about. I just
Ah,
haven't
okay.
played it.
Okay. The next one, Ratchet and Clank.
Okay, that's a good game.
Yep, getting into some newer ones now. Next page, next page. I think you're gonna like this next one, Metroid Fusion.
I did like Metroid Fusion. It wasn't exactly the best Metroid game, but it was good.
That's it's probably my favorite.
Really?
Then again, that's the only one I've played, so
Oh, well, that would do it.
yeah.
You to play Super Metroid on the Super NES. That's the best one.
I'll probably try that out later tonight. Okay.
Metroid Fusion was very much trying to recapture that. So if you liked Metroid Fusion, you would really like Super Metroid.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the next one. It's another Army Men game. It's
Jesus Christ.
it's the only other one I'm going through. It's Army Men World War Team Assault.
Why in the name of Frank Zappa would you play that?
Because it's kind of like Army Men 3D. I suck at it.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Okay. The next one.
You may not suck at it. It just may be a really bad game.
Well, that's probably it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. All right. The next one. That's another Dragon Ball Z game. The next one. Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh, really?
Well, I've been playing it since I was in. Okay, I'm not even gonna say that because, you know, it comes back to what you said. Just because it was the first game I played doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that one was vastly overrated.
Well, never mind. Okay, the next one, SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom.
I think I've played that.
It's pretty
Which
good.
version? Wait, that's on. What system is that on?
It's on PlayStation 2 and computer, but I'm playing it on PlayStation 2.
All right, I think I played like the Game Boy version.
No, that was Super Sponge you were playing.
No, I've done more than one SpongeBob game.
I'll have to look later. Okay. Ratchet and Clank Going Commando, which is the second one.
Yep.
Yeah. What was the second? Oh yeah, the next one is Zuma.
Zuma?
Have you heard of it?
No.
It's kind of like it's like one of those games where you're like a little object and you like gotta fire balls at like other colored balls, and you.
All right, never mind. You're terrible at describing this. I'm just gonna look it up.
Okay.
Zuma, huh?
I was describing
Zuma.
Yeah, I was describing it like that on purpose.
Okay, if you say so. All right, let's see. Zuma. I just want to take a look at this. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I mean.
All right.
Okay. The next one is another Doom mod called Bella 2.
Bellet, I don't know that one.
I downloaded it and I played it a long time ago, but I don't remember what it's about. I just have to pray it's not about Twilight,
I hope not.
because that would
Can you imagine?
suck.
Well, maybe if you were shooting the characters from Twilight in the face.
Then I would nominate that for best one ever.
Yeah, I would be down with that.
Yeah. What's the next one? Okay. Next one is another Doom mod called 2002: A Doom Odyssey.
I think I have played that. I don't think I cared for it that much, but I'm not sure.
I remember testing it out, but it didn't really work because I was using the wrong IWAT of the game. I was using Doom 2, and I realized I was supposed to use Ultimate Doom. So
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's a big difference.
yeah, okay. Another Dragon Ball Z game. Thankfully the last. And after that is another Doom mod called Alien Vendetta.
That's a tough one.
Yeah,
It's good though. It's really good.
yeah, when I first downloaded Skulltag, I was playing online, and that was the first what I actually had to use to get into one of the servers.
Oh, okay.
Which is-
yeah. Yeah, but have
which
you
is why-
played the single? Have you played the single player on it? It's
I've only played map
mayhem.
1.
No, it's pure mayhem.
I hope
If you wind up liking it, I would recommend you check out another one called Hell Revealed.
Hell Revealed. I've got the second
which
one.
was- Hell Revealed 2 is not as good.
I remember playing online on it, but I don't really remember it too much.
Yeah, the original Hell Revealed is very much kind of the spiritual successor to Aliens Vendetta.
Yeah, I'll download that sometime later. All right, the next game is Resident Evil 4.
Okay, skipping right to 4, huh?
Well, actually,
Smart!
well, depending on like the release date of 1, I might put 1, 2, and 3 on there before going on to 4.
Yeah.
Okay. After that is SpongeBob the movie.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Okay. After that is
I just want to wring that little fucker out over the sink.
see if water comes out of him.
Like blood comes out of him.
Probably so. That would be fun. Okay. The next one is an Xbox Live arcade game called Heavy Weapon.
Not familiar with that.
You play as a tank, and you got to go through different levels, and it's kind of not easy.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
After that is Pokemon Emerald.
Alright.
Why didn't I? Oh, it was a draw. Never mind. Okay. The next one is another Doom mod called 2 Sector.
I guess that's even smaller.
Yeah, and a lot more challenging.
Okay.
Okay, the next one is another Xbox Live arcade game called Marvel Blast Ultra.
Not familiar with that. I've never even heard of that.
You play as a marble, and you basically gotta go through different levels, which it starts out like really easy, and then it gets like insanely difficult.
Okay.
You can consider it kind of like Super Meat Boy, just no meat.
Super Meatball.
Exactly, just without that,
Yeah.
which would set in almost anyone.
Okay.
All right, after
You should
that,
do a playthrough. You should do a playthrough of Super Meat Boy.
that all
I don't want
depends.
to see.
That all depends if like I can get if I can like download it or not. Because if I'm gonna download it, I'm probably gonna download it off of Xbox Live Arcade, and I need Microsoft points for that, which cost a lot of
Well,
money.
of course.
So,
They're not that expensive.
well, if you're kind of in the state that my family is, $20 is not something you want to spend.
Well, I don't think it's that much. I think it's more like 5.
Well, then again, I go to GameStop, and that's usually where I get my Microsoft points. But I see your reasoning.
Well, you can buy them right from the Xbox. That's the way I do it.
Yeah, but my parents aren't going to do that unless they
Well,
I like
okay.
unless I strike a deal with them. And it
Yeah,
takes
you give
a
them the
lot to
money
do that.
first. You give them the money
Yeah.
first, and then they use the credit
Yeah.
card.
Yeah. All right. After that is Oblivion.
You're gonna play all the way through Oblivion.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to do any of the side quests unless I'm like terrible at it.
Well, that's the whole fun of it.
Exactly. But then if I were to go through all the side quests, because I would start with the guilds so I can power myself up, and then
Yeah.
I'd probably go do like all the minor side quests, then like the
Well, I
really
would
minor
I would actually recommend if your concern is that you're not going to get through it easily, I would recommend ignoring the side quests then, because the more you level up in Oblivion, the harder it gets.
so it's kind of like Final Fantasy VIII. The enemies level up with
Yeah,
you.
they're level scaled, and it's really, really obnoxious in Oblivion, which is why I kind of didn't like it as much as Morrowind, because once you get to like level 25 or so, all the enemies start just really kicking your ass.
Yeah, I know what you mean. The next game on the list is another Xbox Live Arcade game called Cloning Clyde.
Cloning Clyde.
Yep.
Okay.
It's
Why
kind of
not?
like Marvel Blast Ultra, except it's like a side scroller, and it's a lot more wacky. Trust me.
I'll take your word for it.
Okay. The next one is a very popular game called Gears of War.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
You consider a 13-year-old playing that.
Well, I've seen worse.
Yeah. There are worse out there. Okay. The next one, yeah, I'm getting into a lot more.
By the time you get to that, you'll probably be 20, I'm just saying.
Yeah. The next one, I'm getting into a lot more Xbox Live Arcade ones now. The next one is Assault Heroes.
Okay.
After that is Worms. not the PlayStation one, the Xbox Live one.
Yeah, no. Well, there's been a million different versions of Worm, so.
Yeah, I know what you mean. The next one is Portal.
Portal, yeah.
Yeah.
I would honestly recommend you just skip to Portal 2.
Yeah, I haven't played Portal 2, but I've heard it's good.
It's a lot better than Portal 1.
And probably a lot less confusing.
No, it's still confusing, but it's just a better game overall.
Yeah. The next one is another Doom mod called One Monster.
Okay.
Yeah, that...
There's only one monster.
Which reminds me of something. I started up a server with using that WAD, and some idiot said, this name is a little bit misleading. There's more than one monster.
Mm.
I can see his reasoning with that, but, you know...
Did you smack him through the internet? Did you, like, reach through the tubes and just punch him in his sack?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Oh, I played that in the wrong spot. Okay. The next one... Oh, good God. Call of Duty 4.
It's not a bad game.
It's certainly better than Halo.
It's damn straight it's better than Halo.
Um...
Why do you skip to 4?
Because...
Or is it that you're just doing the Modern Warfare series? Is that what it is?
Well, let's just say this. I don't have any of the other ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's the only Call of Duty game I plan on doing.
Okay.
The next one is Assassin's Creed.
All right. No, you have you heard about the new Assassin's Creed?
Revelations?
No.
Oh.
I said new.
Sorry, I'm kind of...
They've actually recently announced Assassin's Creed 3, so I was just wondering if you'd heard about that, because it looks very interesting.
Oh, I'm not really paying attention to that stuff. I'm just...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought you meant the one that already came out.
No, it's going to be coming out.
Okay, the next one is a game that's very, very close to Super Meat Boy. I think you should do a Let's Fail of it. It's called N+.
I probably wouldn't do a Let's Fail of that particular game.
Well, like, have you heard of it?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah, I've rage quitted over it a lot.
I already actually have my next Let's Fail planned out, so...
Okay, I'll be awaiting that to see what it is. It's probably gonna be good. Okay, the next one is Assault Heroes 2.
Okay.
Okay, oh, there's another good one on the list. Pretty soon, I'll say that one when I get to it. The next one is a very popular Xbox Live Arcade game called Castle Crashers.
Oh, yeah. Now, are you going to do that alone or multiplayer?
That all depends. If I have like neighbors that aren't douches living around me.
Well, you know.
Because you gotta be like real lucky with that stuff.
It's true.
All right, the next one. Okay, try not to get too misled with the name of this one. The next game is an Xbox Live Arcade game called Age of Booty. Try not to get misled with the name.
Age of Booty?
Yep. I mean like pirates.
I know what you mean. I've heard of it.
Okay, I was just making sure.
Doesn't mean I'm not going to make the joke.
I was just making sure. All right.
Booty.
Exactly. All right, the next one.
I would love to see your mother come in when you're downloading that. What are you downloading? Age of Booty? What?
She would have a fit.
Probably, yeah.
Then again, I've already downloaded it, so
Well,
you know yeah.
when you're playing it, then whatever.
Yeah. The next one is Fable 2.
Ugh.
I've beaten it, and let's just say I was very mad at the ending because it wasn't that good.
I was mad at the game for existing.
The next one, since I look at my list, is Gears of War 2.
Okay, well, figured that would be coming.
Yeah. And the next one is Infamous.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I like the guy's ability. He can shoot people with lightning. Why can't I do that?
Well, probably because it would kill you.
Yeah, but I want to shoot people with lightning. That would be cool. You know, if I meet some idiot online, just here, taste my lightning, die. Okay. The next one is another Xbox Live Arcade game called Self-Actor Psychokinetic Wars.
Sounds delightful.
It's kind of like Time Splitters, just worse.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
See, this is why I only do full playthroughs of games I actually like.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
See, I'm doing Dragon Age. You're going to be doing that.
Alright, the next one, I'm getting pretty close to the end. The next one is, another Xbox Live Arcade game called Trials HD.
Yeah, I've heard of that one.
I downloaded the game for my birthday, which was like in October, and I got pretty far pretty quick, and then I realized, before it was easy. Now I die a lot.
By the time you get to this, there's probably going to be no such thing as Xbox Live.
I know. I don't even know what it's going to be like. It's probably going to be a lot more advanced than that. The next one is Brutal Legend.
Now, see, I actually bought that. I haven't gotten around to playing it, but I do have it sitting there.
Oh, trust me, you're going to like it. It's awesome.
Well, I do like real-time strategy. So.
I placed that car in the wrong spot. Oh, well.
You're still, this whole time, you're still playing Final Fantasy VIII?
Yeah.
I can't get your undivided attention for the show?
No, I'm, like, switching off. I'm paying more attention to the show than I am to the card game. So the next one
I can hear you moving the cursor.
Okay. The next game on the list is Final Fantasy 13.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's a really good one. The next one is... Oh, moved it way too far up. The next one is probably the last Doom mod I have on the list. It's called Boss.
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 I think there's only one level in it.
Oh, no, both.
Exactly. I think there's only one level in it, and there's two bosses. One is a giant arachnotron, and
I only have one boss. Wouldn't a giant arachnotron be a mastermind?
Kind of, except it's just like an enlarged sprite of an arachnotron, and it fires like the actual plasma gun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, except instead of it being like one row of plasma, it's two rows of plasma.
Like in Doom 64.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm the boss.
Yes, you are. Okay. The next game, oh, actually, I'm on the last four. The next game is...
Thank God.
I got a lot of horrible games planned, don't I?
Yeah?
Okay. The next game is an Xbox Live Arcade game called Comic Jumper.
Comic Jumper?
Yeah, it's not like Comic Zone.
That's the first thing that came to my mind, yeah.
Yeah, it's not like that.
No, that would have been cool.
It's a lot fun. It's funny. Like, it's really funny.
We've taken up a lot of time here, so why don't we just very quickly get through the last three here?
Okay. The last three games are an Xbox Live Arcade game called Ilo Milo, Infamous, the PlayStation 3 game Infamous 2, and finally Skyrim.
And that will take you 3 years to get through.
Yeah, then again, I've got the guidebook, so...
Oh, that's no fun.
Well, I haven't looked at it yet. I doubt I ever will, so...
Okay, well, anybody out there that wants to see a very young person, who will probably be old by the time they get to Skyrim, play through all the games listed here, going to check out his channel, which is Shadowrunner98.
Shadow Ruler.
Shadow Ruler 98 on the YouTube. So, just go over there and check it out. He's playing through Doom 2 currently, but, yeah, gotta cut you loose here. We've taken up a lot of time with your list. I didn't realize it was going to be quite that long.
Yeah. Plus, we branched off into a lot of stuff, so...
Yeah, all I can say is good luck. You're going to need it.
Alright, thanks.
Alright. Well, we'll see you then.
Okay.
Okay, so that's a hell of a lot of games that he's going to be doing. Let's move on. Let's get to the news. Don't have a whole lot of news, but I do have some really interesting news. First of all, good news for fans of Etrian Odyssey, which is a series of dungeon crawlers. There were 3 of them on the DS. Etrian Odyssey 4 will be coming out in Japan sometime this year for the 3DS. No news yet as to whether or not it will come out in America, but you know, these games always come out in Japan first, so there you have it. Fans of the Medal of Honor series rejoice. A while back they tried to revive the series with a game just called Medal of Honor. It went up against Call of Duty, didn't really do so well, but it did okay. Well, it's getting a sequel called Medal of Honor Warfighter, which is going to be coming probably sometime this year. So there you have it. Now, apparently, there was some kind of rumor that there was going to be kill Osama bin Laden level in this, but apparently they're not doing that. So I think that would have been weird. I don't know. I think it would have been really, really weird. Monopoly fans and Street Fighter fans, if there's a Venn diagram with any kind of overlap, then we have Street Fighter Monopoly. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Street Fighter Monopoly. Not only is this going to be a thing, but they're actually working on it, and they want your input. So if you could head over to the Capcom Unity blog, which is www.capcom-unity.com, there is a poll on there, and you can put in your voice as to what characters you'd like to see as being spots on the Monopoly board. So there you have it. So basically they're getting some fan input for Street Fighter Monopoly. This is an actual board game, not a video game, by the way. Sad news for people who are looking forward to The Binding of Isaac coming to the 3DS. It is not coming to the 3DS. Apparently, Nintendo has denied Team Meat a license because they felt the game was disturbing and that it had questionable religious content. So, as soon as I thought the era of Nintendo censoring religion in their games was over a long time ago, but it looks like they don't want to touch The Binding of Isaac with a 10-foot pole. Apparently, Team Meat is going to be looking to putting this on a Sony handheld, so it looks like Nintendo's loss will be Sony's gain. And that's a shame because The Binding of Isaac, religious content aside, is basically a love letter to Zelda. So there you have it. For people in Europe, if I have any European viewers, which I think I do, it may be hard to get EA games soon. One of Europe's biggest game retailers is just called Game, and they are not going to be carrying Mass Effect 3 or FIFA Street, Tiger Woods 13, or Sims 3 Showtime, which is basically EA's entire lineup. It has to do with their own financial problems that they've come up to in the past year or so. Apparently, they are also missing out on Ubisoft games, so kind of a shame. You might want to order those online. If you have pre-orders for Mass Effect 3 or any other EA or Ubisoft game coming out at Game, your pre-order has probably been canceled, so that's what's going on. Good news for BioShock fans. BioShock Infinite, the third BioShock game, now has a specific release date. It will be coming out October 16th. So long, but that's okay for me because I always play BioShock in October, so that works out for me anyway. Ratchet & Clank will be getting the HD collection treatment, apparently. Don't really have much news on that. It's just that there will be a Ratchet & Clank HD collection. I presume for PlayStation 3. Might hit other consoles, but who knows. Assassin's Creed 3. This is the biggest story of the week. Assassin's Creed 3 is not only a thing, but it has been revealed, and it does take place during the American Revolution. There's a picture of the assassin holding a hatchet and a musket with the revolutionary American flag in the background. Looks really cool. That's going to be on the cover of Game Informer. There's more info out there, but I don't want to get too much into it because the show's getting kind of long. Valve has been in rumors. There have been rumors about Valve making their own console, and it looks like this may actually be a reality. Valve may be making a console which right now is codenamed the Steam Box, and apparently will use some kind of modular controller similar to what Mad Catz puts out for Xbox 360, which has biometric sensors that will change elements in the game based on your behavior, I guess. So that's in the rumor mill. It's not confirmed, but there's been a patent out there for a controller that people have attributed to Valve for their Steam Box. So that's what's going on there. Persona 4 Arena, which is a fighting game based on Persona 4, has a more specific release window. Previously it was TBA. Now it's going to be coming out sometime in August. So that's what's going on with that. And finally, bad news for fans of Mass Effect. Apparently the Xbox 360 version is having some issues with cloud saves. If your Mass Effect 1 and therefore your Mass Effect 2 save was saved to the cloud, Mass Effect 3 will not be able to see that. even if you transferred it from one Xbox 360 to another by means of the cloud, and it's currently on your Xbox 360, Mass Effect 3 can apparently not see the save unless the save is on the Xbox 360 console to which that it originated. So, sorry to tell you that, but that's what's going on. If you use the cloud saves, you're probably going to have to just make a new game on Mass Effect 3. So sorry to say that. Unless you have access to the original Xbox 360 that you played the game on, and you can save it on there, and there are ways to transfer it, which you can go to ea.com, help.ea.com, and go to their article for cannot import save game for Mass Effect 3 on Xbox 360. So that'll be the news for this week. Going to end the show as I normally do with the sales figures, so let me bring that up. I'm a little unprepared here, so let me just close some windows. I don't want to save changes. I didn't make any changes. What are you talking about? Okay, so let's get to the sales charts for video games, the software. Let's start with Japan. The number one top-selling game in Japan for the week ending in February 19th was New Love Plus. That's really the name of it. New Love Plus on the 3DS, which sold 104,853 units. This looks a lot like last week's. Hold on. Am I looking at last week's here? Let's see. I'm just looking at it. Yeah, you know what? Okay, I don't have the Japanese charts for this week. I have American and Europe, but I don't have Japanese. Let's see, maybe this might be like a little mistake. Let's try and go. It should be the week ending in February 25th. Okay, I don't have the Japanese charts. I'll try and update that next week, so we're going to skip Japan. I'm sorry. So let's go to Europe. Okay, the number one selling game in Europe for the week ending in February 25th, that's what it should be in Japan, but apparently I don't have it, is Uncharted Golden Abyss for the PlayStation Vita, which sold 102,237 units. FIFA Football for the PlayStation Vita sold 57,621 units. Rayman Origins for the PlayStation Vita sold 36,309 units. Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception for PlayStation 3 sold 33,001 units. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 for PlayStation 3 sold 32,823 units. The Last Story for the Wii sold 32,484 units. Mario and Sonic at the London 2012 Olympic Games for the Wii sold 27,171 units. Just Dance 3 for the Wii sold 26,933 units. Wipeout 2048 for the PlayStation Vita sold 26,514 units. And FIFA Soccer 12 for PlayStation 3 sold 25,809 units. The number one top-selling game in America for the week ending in February 2012 is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 on the Xbox 360, which sold 73,541 units. Uncharted The Golden Abyss for PlayStation Vita sold 68,152 units. Twisted Metal on the PlayStation 3 sold 63,089 units. UFC Undisputed 3 sold 62,270 units. That's on Xbox 360. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 for PlayStation 3 sold 56,847 units. Just Dance 3 on the Wii sold 45,871 units. Asura's Wrath on the PlayStation 3 sold 44,441 units. They couldn't sell 3 more? UFC Undisputed 3 on the PlayStation 3 sold 43,231 units. Kinect Adventures on Xbox 360 sold 37,775 units. And Zumba Fitness on the Wii sold 34,228 units. Globally, I don't have the global charts because Japan's not in, so I can't do that. I do have hardware charts all up in this bitch, though, so let's start with Japan. The top-selling console in Japan was the 3DS, which moved 76,196 units. The PlayStation 3, 25,107 units. The PSP, 13,514 units. The Vita, 10,914 units. The Wii, 7,495 units. The DS, 1,411 units. And the Xbox 360, 929 units. In Europe, the top-selling console was the PlayStation Vita, which sold 294,131 units. The, PlayStation 3 was 66,073 units. 3DS, 63,205 units. The The Xbox 360, 42,525 units. The Wii, 25,886 units. The DS, 17,553 units. And the PSP, 10,302 units. In America, the big seller was the PlayStation Vita with 172,794 units. At number 2 is the Xbox 360 with 101,651 units sold. The 3DS, 87,798 units. The PlayStation 3, 77,098 units. The Wii, 47,922 units. The DS, 31,828 units. And the PSP, 12,053 units. So, globally, the big seller was the Vita, followed by the 3DS, the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, Wii, DS, and the PSP was last. Poor PSP. So that's the show for this week. We'll see you guys next week. If you want to be on the show, get on Skype and add me. It's NecroVMX. Talk to me there. We'll work it out. And that's it. See you next week. VMX out.